community members. Mo e le gore o na le court order ya e le gore e dirile mo fatsheng la Phalaborwa. La tseba mos. La tseba ke. So ke rata lo botsa lo tsebisa gore bua re tsamaile ona re buile bjale tla ba se ba Phalaborwa. Ka bua Polokwane High Court it's in floor number 3. Floor number 3. Courtroom number 6. Aluta continua. Aluta.
Well, good day, good people, wherever you're at. We rather want to welcome you to our Uncommon Perspective podcast. My name is Livingston Ubrimnesi. Thank you very much for joining us. We are talking the issue that does not want to go away. The person that you are hearing there, or you are seeing there on the clip, his name is Edwin, Mr. Edwin Notwani Malaji. He is the leader of Phalaborwa Concern community members. He is giving feedback to the people that could not make it to Polokwane High Court. He's got large following. If you can see there are people listening to him. Some are cheering, are happy. But there's something that he's saying that is very interesting to me. He's saying floor number 3, courtroom number 6. So there was something that was happening in floor number 3, courtroom number 6. His opening remarks is, Bccm members, do you know Mus Hunali court order that is doing around Phalaborwa? And they're saying yes to a resounding yes. I'm not sure. Well, I'm confused with this whole matter, but let's hope as time goes, we'll get to understand the effects of this issue, and we'll get to know what is it, in fact, that the Bccm led by Mr. Notwani is seeking to achieve. Because I'm saying this, he is mentioning something about the court order. I think then that tells me something, that maybe if he says something about court order, it could mean that he's also challenging the court order that was headed down sometime last year. What court order am I talking about? I'm talking about a court order that was the reason that today we have the new BCF in office, and the old BCF was removed from office through legal means. So if he's talking about a court order, and at the same time they're talking about the Bccm name that belongs to them, because they're saying, and I agree with them, if indeed you've got a certificate to show that this is the name, you are the director, or you are the shareholder, or you are the whatever the language they choose to call it, that are the rightful owner, the people who are responsible for that company or whatever it is, or organization, then it means yes, they own this Bccm. I've been listening to different people talking. Some were saying this guy cannot come here and claim that Bccm belongs to him. Well, it's somebody who does not understand how the copyright things work. It belongs to him if he registered it with CIPC and he got a certificate for that. And some were saying that this gentleman cannot come here to then say he's challenging Bccm because the Bccm that went to court, or he cannot come here and say this thing will affect the elections of the new BCF and everything that followed subsequently. That will say, the person that will say that is the only person who is the person who does not understand how law works. Because the law works like this: if something happens as a result of something that was wrong, even if that something happened in a right way, just because it happened because something was wrong, that something cancels that right thing. That's how the law works. That's the science of law. It doesn't say no, yes, but the elections went so well, there were no irregularities, so we can keep the election. It doesn't work like that. The law says if the elections happen because there was something that was wrong that made the elections to happen, then even when the elections happen in the right way, then that could mean that those elections could be cancelled and nullified and be declared null and void. So the rerun of the elections will be made depending on what the application is saying. I don't know. I've just received a call from someone who's very close to this case, and they told me that this is an unopposed motion court. There's no one who's opposing this, and the court has just said that it was the people whose names were mentioned by the gentleman. I'll play it in the clip. You'll hear it. The names of those guys that the court says it want them to come and make themselves clear and explain themselves before the court as to how could it be possible that they come before court and represent themselves as Bccm. I've heard someone in the group, somewhere in one of the group, some group that we are part of. I don't want to mention the name of the group. He's saying that this person, we used to concern with him in the very same Bccm. He's only fighting some guy by the name of this and that and that. I don't want to mention the name of the person. One thing that they don't understand is this. Let me put this scenario. Maybe people will understand. If all of us, 5 of us people, create a structure that is called Mr. X, we work together that structure as Mr. X today, the 23rd of April 2025, and 4 weeks later in June or in May or in April or in June or tomorrow, someone breaks away from this Mr. X structure and say, we don't want to work with this Mr. X, we don't want to work with the people in this Mr. X structure, we want to create something new. By law, you cannot move with the name. You move yourself and you start your own thing under your new name. Let me give an example. I'll try to give an example of churches. Maybe it will be easier. We have the let me give an example. Maybe it will be clear. I don't know. Forgive me if I'm coming out wrongly. We have the church called Free Methodist. We have the church called Methodist. The church Methodist came before Free Methodist. In 1865 or somewhere there about 1860 or 1865, some members in the Methodist said, we cannot continue to be part of this Methodist church. We want to break away from this church and start something new. They went out of the Methodist. They started something new with a new name. It was called Free Methodist. That's example number 1. We've got another church, it's called Nazarene Church, and we've got a Nazarene Revival Church. Nazarene Church is the original church. People said, no, we want to move out of Nazarene Church, we want to start something new. But because they loved the name Nazarene, they called themselves Nazarene Revival. So why am I giving this example? I'm saying this. Even those Bccm people, even if this company is not registered officially, when people chose to move out of the Bccm, they should have moved out of Bccm and said, no, we are Bccm Y or Bccm Z. But they should not have retained or continued to call themselves Bccm as the original Bccm that they broke away from. That is where the bone of contention is. And that is what Mr. Nodwan is saying. You guys moved away from us. You cannot just go and say you are the Bccm, whereas you are the breakaway faction. You should call yourself something else. A further example is that people moved out of the ANC, the political organization. They do not call themselves Bomuswalu Kota and Bomushlo and Bazmashlo. They don't call themselves ANC. They went to call themselves Kopi or COPE. The guys from the ANC were fired. Bo Julius Malema were kicked out of the ANC. They did not call themselves ANC. They call themselves economic freedom fighters. This tells you that when you move away from something that you were part of, you don't move with the name. You move yourself and you leave the name to continue to exist at its own right. Even when you are no longer there, the company still exists as BCCM. So Notwani went to register this company. He holds the papers now. He is the owner, rightful owner of that and his people. So the question is, how did it come about that these other brothers and other people went to court and still call themselves BCCM, whereas they know they moved away? This is where the board of condition is. This is what the court is going to decide now. And with those examples that I've given, I can tell you the court is most likely to lean towards Mr. Notwan and his people. I'm not saying I'm second guessing what the judge will say, but giving the examples that I've given you, that's the trend. That's how it works. If you move away from someone's house, you don't take their house. You move along with your belongings, but you leave the house as it is. When you don't go and open the same company with the same name, with the same logo, with the same, no, you don't do that. It's against the law. So the question that the court is going to decide, because people are alleging that this gentleman registered this company long after these guys went to court. This is the technicality when the law comes in. Let me tell you something. This case is going to be a landmark case. There's never been a case in the country of its nature. I've tried to search for any case that is related to this. I've exhausted all the search engines. I could not find any case that is common to this, that is related to this. Someone in some group said, no, this case is just like the EFF. I mean, it's just like the controversies and the ANC. I said, my babu, they don't know what they're talking about. The case of ANC and the controversies is not the same. Jacob Zuma went to register controversies political party. The ANC doesn't own controversies political party. It owns controversies arms wing. Arm wing. That is an arm wing. It's like when you are saying this is APLA. This is an arm wing. So an arm wing has never been a political party, has never been registered as a political party. That is why it was easier for the court to say, no, you ANC are out of order. You cannot come here and claim to have registered the name controversies. The name is not yours. The controversies party is not yours. Maybe controversies or arm wing, yes, it's yours, but this one is not yours. And it was as simple as that. So in this instance, I think it's going to be very difficult for the other BCCM members who went to court to go and prove that we had authority to act as BCCM. The court will ask, who gave you the authority? Because you need to have been given the authority by the rightful owner of that name. Look, never mind this gentleman registered this party 10 months, 20 months, 20 years later. The mere fact that this gentleman was known as BCCM even before he had registered it, even before the other guys broke away from it, that gives him the rightful ownership. I'm talking by law. Because, yes, by law, it gives him that ownership, that it's his ownership. It's like when I start my market stall somewhere, I'm selling some tomatoes in the street. This was the law previously in the previous past, and someone comes and erect his own stall market there. You have a right to say no, but you can't erect the stall market here because I'm the first person to come here. Just go and erect it somewhere else, and the court will agree with you, because it cannot be that I start something and someone later on come and claim it and make them theirs, and someone will come and say, but this is a public space. Yeah, it is a public space, but you were not there before I was there. I came here before you came, so I have a right to dictate terms here. Just go and open it there. Even when you want to go and start your market somewhere stall, you have to go and ask this person, can I come and erect my own market stall? Then they will say yes, come, or maybe they say no, don't come, just go and do it somewhere there. They will still be acting within their rights. So even Edwin, well, it's still within his right. He's not my favorite person. I'm not part of this BCM. I'm just a journalist, independent, but I'm looking at the facts here. But I'll stand to be corrected by the court. So this is what I'm thinking. Let's move. Then we're looking at this thing. So the people will be called, that's what he said, that they should come and appear before the honorable judge. That's what he said. They should come and appear before the honorable judge.
Magistrate, ubuleti ka are inete wa bona ownership ya BCCM ya ba consent committee members or government. Awe hape magistrate a bontsha gore batho ba ile gore ba nyakeya ba te ba ikarabele before o jiwa sephetho sa mafalelo o tshwantse o khumane David Seisa a da thalose gore ke ena mane o nyaka ene ka ra dilo tsa ba consent committee members ka baka la ownership o khumanele gore ke a bomane and ownership e dile bo motho e ke apa so ba phalabora ka ra lo botsa le tsebisa gore David Seisa e ke apa so le bolena awa a dula a tseba malo ona gore polokwana e court o ya nyakeya ke muka taba e matsona a 10 le sheriff ke muka he ba tlo mo server ke mo ato ba ke tseba gore date ke lene o nyake a lene ka kuwa a luta continua ke kare nga se apelilo ka mo ka social media bele David Seisa lu a tseba gore malo ona o ya nyakeya ka kuwa polokwana e court ba re ata a tswa arabela gore ke ena mane o di ene a khnyaka ene ka ralo tsa BCCM hape ba re le bana ba direlo supporting document ya di affidavit ya o bontsha re bo bona ba supporta David Seisa ka go ara court case ba nyakeya ba te ba thalo sorry ke bo bona bo mane a ba khnyaka ene.
Well, look, let us not make an issue out of him confusing the judge as the magistrate there. Well, we heard Mr. David says, I'm sorry, I'm getting your surname wrongly. Forgive me for that. Well, if you are fortunate enough to get hold of this podcast, we also would like to extend our invitation to you as well as a Common Perspective podcast to give you a right of reply. If you are able to hear this voice, whoever is getting access of this should make it a point that maybe they share with Mr. David so that we can get his side of the story. Because I'm getting from what this gentleman is saying that it seems as if the court, when they appear yesterday, the court said, no, but before this court, we have seen the name David says as somebody who is the leader. And there are those that have attested to that that have the post of the affidavit to confirm that this gentleman David says is the leader of the BCM. So the court wants him to come and clarify those issues. To me, it doesn't sound like a bad thing, but he should. If I were him, I would go before the honorable court, because when the court invites you, you have to go before the court. Otherwise, you'll be held of contempt. And contempt is a very serious offense. Now, if you want to know, ask President Jacob Zuma. He had been convicted to 15 months in prison for the contempt of court. That is the law that we have now. Whoever is in contempt of the court, the minimum sentence that has been decided by the constitutional court, the apex court in the land, is 15 months. So the other court will divert, but if anybody, the court invites them to come before them and they don't go, then they're in contempt. And they're most likely to face that 15 months imprisonment. Let's see. He's mentioning things like these guys are needed to come and respond. We want to know what is it that they should come and respond to the court. He's saying that they should come and say, I'm taking what he said, to answer who were they, what were they doing to meddle with the community issues if they were not representing the community. So Mr. says, wherever you are at, brah, please do us a favor. We want to extend our invitation to you as well, so that we give you a right to reply. You answer for yourself whatever is happening. Thank you very much. We understand that. I hope you will consider that as we speak with you. He's mentioning some other things here that there are those that have written the affidavit. We want to know who are those people. Let's hear him mention those names.
Mozileni ya boya ya mpotsa re no not one o tsuba re ne ba bangwe ba ba le re ne ba nyakea ke bo McDuffie the affidavit tsa bona di ona bo Abigail Malesa bo Cliff Nkuna bo Opa Maladi la ba tseba ba phala borwa so ke bolela ka mola jelo re ke rile ke le motsileni le lwara then mpotsa re not one dula o tseba hore David says ha tsa mali nosi we ka the document le batho ba le ba dirile supporting document ba dirile affidavit ba dirile oath ya o bontsha hore ba supporta lo take statement sa David says vele ba nyakea go apolokwa na court vele abadule ba tseba rona go engwe le engwe sheriff tlo ba dula mo and then ba tlo ba server and then ba nyakea go apolokwa na court batho ba go ba ba domo ke ba ile re tshonje ba ba ikarabele ke ba tshonje re ba nyakea.
Well, this brother is very bold. He mentioning the names of people there. He mentions the McDuffies there, the Cliff and others that they are wanted. I'm sure he's doing this at the strength of the maybe information he's getting from his legal people, because he's saying that on his way the lawyer called him to tell him that no, remember David Siasi is not the only person that is needed. Even those that disposed of the affidavit to attest to him as leader, the court will want them to come forth and clarify those issues as to what did they mean by that. If it is found out that no, but David Siasa is not the rightful leader of this Bccm structure. So we want to see. There you are, guys. You've been out. Your names have been mentioned. I also want to make an invitation to you as well that Uncommon Perspective is readily available. We'd love to have you to come and maybe give us an interview to clarify those issues. We are more than willing to conduct this interview with you, because we want to make people of Mapalabora, we want to keep them abreast. We want to make them updated with all the issues, because now some they are waiting in abated breath. They don't know what's going to be happening now because of this court case. So please, if you guys are within the reach of this podcast, please, we believe that you will reach it. It will reach you. You will have an ear on it. You will listen to it. You'll have you formulate your own opinion on it. Please come and let's make an appointment. Let's sit down and talk about this whole thing, because it's very important that we discuss these issues for the sake of Palabora as a whole. Well, let's see what's going on here. We just want to conclude this podcast, but I think this gentleman has got a lot to say, so let's see what's going on here. Well, thank you very much, good people, for taking your time, your very precious time, to sit down and listen to this podcast. I hope you, after listening to it, you have a lot to say. You have comments to make. You have formulated your opinion around this matter. We really appreciate feedback. Any constructive criticisms on our work, we really appreciate it. If you want to engage us, our contact numbers are let me rephrase. It's 07614355627. That is our direct line, and a WhatsApp line at the same time. We can also use 083-767 4521. I repeat this: 083-767 4521. That's WhatsApp only. That MTN number, it's WhatsApp only. But the 07614355627, it's WhatsApp and a telephone line as well. Let's talk about this. Our Facebook line is Livingston Mnisi. Well, that's our Facebook. You can also get us on Stone Media House page. We there. You search for Stone Media House page. It's there. You can also get us on Stone Mnisi. That's WhatsApp number. You can also get us on YouTube. It's Livingston Mnisi. You can also get us on what is formerly known to be Twitter. We'll give you all those nitty-gritty details about these social media pages where you get us, but we're available everywhere. Look, finally, let me just extend this invitation to my brothers. To one, Edwin Malaji, we would love to have a sit-down interview with you, sir. If you have time, please just give us a ring, contact us on WhatsApp, or just give us a shout on calling us. We would love to sit down with you and talk about this matter. I think it's something that needs to be talked at length. We also want to extend our invitation to the people that have been out here, like those that have been mentioned by Mr. Notwani, Edwin Notwani, like Malaji, like David Siesa, Bo, Mr. Cliff, Bo McDuff, and others that were mentioned. Please, your names have been mentioned in this scathing and name tarnishing allegations. We would love to give you a platform to respond for yourselves. Please give us this opportunity to sit down with you and talk about this whole saga, because we understand, Kori, when your names have been mentioned, you need to reply. You have a right to reply. We cannot just take this to air and share it in different platform if we did not give you a right to reply. We were going to also send this to you directly. I promise this podcast will be sent to you directly. Those that I have your contact, I will send it to you directly so that you can have a first-hand listening to it, then you reply accordingly. Thank you very much. My name is Livingston Ubrimnisi. Uncommon Perspective is the name of our podcast. This is the first of millions to come. Thank you very much for giving us your time. We love you. We really appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you.